Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general mid-month reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Ascendant. It's going to be shorter than the monthly video for June, so if you haven't seen that, I'm going to link it at the end. And there is an extended to that as well, so it's worth having a look. I'm going to pull 3 cards for your current energy, 3 cards for what's coming towards you, and 3 cards of advice. I'll try not to pull any clarifiers, but you know, I break my own rules as and when necessary. Mercury retrograde is almost upon us as well, and it's nothing to be frightened about, so you know, don't feel like you need to go and hide under a rock for a while. There's a basic toolkit for survival, and that involves things like not signing any big contracts that you don't need to, right? If you can possibly put them off, then do. If you must sign it, double check, triple check the fine print, because that's where the things are that could potentially trip you up. It's about the fine detail, Mercury retrograde. It's about the loose ends. It's that kind of thing, right? So that's the thing. Try and avoid buying big items like houses and cars and things like that. But again, if you have to, see the advice above. And expect communication to be a little bit murky during this period, because yeah, that's kind of what it does. Everybody talks at cross purposes. Everybody assumes things about others. You know, people look for subtext that isn't there, or they don't notice subtext that is there. And frankly, if it's speaking with subtext, like, stop it. Stop. It's confusing for people, right? Just try and remain neutral and try not to take anything too personally during this period, right? It's important. So that's enough of that. Let's get on with your current energy for the last 2 weeks of June for Aquarius. Right. The first card that we've got is Judgment. So I feel like you might be dealing with some big retrograde energy at the moment. Then we've got the 4 of Cups with the 3 of Swords. And then we've got the Page of Cups. This is quite an interesting combination. We've got the 9 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck here. And that talks about self-sufficiency and independence, right? The Knight of Pentacles is underneath that. So it seems like you may be making small moves at the moment, you know, as much as you can, in order to kind of safeguard is the word that I just heard. Safeguard your independence and your financial, you know, stability, all that kind of thing. But it's very much centered around you, right? Now, Judgment, like I said, this is the return of old situations, potentially, you know, people that you've kind of lost contact with. That's possible. Oh, I've just got goosebumps all over. So maybe there is somebody coming back. That's the thing. But it also talks about making a judgment call, right? And we're talking about tying up loose ends. And often when we're tying up loose ends, it's coming down with a particular, you know, judgment on a situation, right? Like really assessing what it is that you really have understood from something, right? That's the energy that you're sitting in now. What lessons have you learned? You know, where did you fuck up that you could do better in future? Where did other people fuck up that maybe your forgiveness and compassion is required, right? It seems to be on your mind at the moment. And then we've got, I beg your pardon, the 6 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. So it seems like maybe part of the reflection is on old situations, old relationships that wounded you in some way. Now, it doesn't have to be romantic relationships. This could be the relationship that you have with your parents, with, you know, old friends, something like that. But it seems like it's on your mind at the moment. Yeah? And the final card that you've got is it's the Page of Cups. And I just sort of flicked to see what it was, because what I felt was there's a period of healing that you're going through at the moment where you're just kind of releasing a lot of stuff. You're letting it go, but you kind of sat in contemplation of it at the moment. This for me is a card of forgiveness and compassion, and sometimes of apologies, right? So maybe you've got somebody coming back to apologize for something from the past. But maybe this is forgiveness and compassion for yourself, right? Forgiveness and compassion, which is expressed energetically to an old situation that does not actually form part of your current experience at the moment. It's merely the reflection on it that is, your current experience at the moment. And that's good. That is actually a sterling example of how you should use retrograde energy. Well done, Aquarius. It's really, really super, right? And I do feel it's because you're getting ready to look out this way and see what's coming, what's ahead, right? You're doing it for the rest of the zodiac, really, actually. Tying up your own loose ends is really, really important. Let's have a look and see what's coming towards you for the last 2 weeks. Whoa. Wow, okay. So the 3 cards that have come out there are all major arcana. And they all kind of came out in a lump, so I'm not really sure which order they came out in. It doesn't actually matter, I don't think, because the end result is the same. We've got the 6 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. This is you moving away, in some sense, from troubled things. And I feel like rather than you know, geographically relocating away from a troublesome situation, this is you doing it intellectually, right? Things that have burdened your soul for a little while, you're kind of moving away from them now. You're letting them go. You're forgiving them. You're releasing them. You're accepting them for what they are, right? Knowing that you can't change them. And practicing this forgiveness and compassion, right? Because you understand, underneath that we've got the 10 of Swords. You understand the ways in which this has weighed your soul down, right? And you're not prepared to carry them any further, so you're letting them go. I love that. Oh, beautiful, absolute, like top-notch retrograde energy to be sat in. Now, the 3 cards that came out, major arcana, the Hermit, the Lovers, and the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Lovers is a major life choice for me, right? And that can be an opportunity that is presented to you. You know, you pick one thing or the other. But whichever way it happens, and the other way that it happens is you deciding to consciously co-create moving forward. So like, this is the way that you approach everything now. Fully conscious, fully aware, fully present. Whichever way it applies to you, there is a sense that your life will be very different when you have made this choice, when you've made this decision, right? Because we've got it here with the Wheel of Fortune as well, right? This is a teaching moment for me often. Yes, it appears when your fortunes are improving, but that's not a fucking accident, right? It doesn't just land on your lap because you deserve nice things. It's because you did the work, right? And what you're doing here by releasing the old things, practicing forgiveness and compassion and understanding for yourself and other people, is you are clearing space. You are getting rid of those things that were weighing you down, right? Clearing out the old, making way for the new, right? And the new's pretty special, I think, whatever it is that's coming in. And it feels like it's not something that you're going to necessarily see coming. Like maybe the significance of the decision that you make is one where you don't actually comprehend how important this is going to be down the line, until you get down the line, rather. You know. But reading these separately, we've got this card of Virgo here, right? The Hermit. It talks about introspection, and this is kind of like a continuation of where you are at the moment anyway, because you're already in a reflective mood, but you're kind of looking within. And the more I talk, the more I feel like this is the way that you are going to approach everything now, right? Rather than it being something that's kind of presented in front of you and go pick one option or the other. This is more about you just taking charge of things and going, you know what, conscious co-creation. This is what I'm about now. I'm going to work with the energy. I'm going to work with Source, the universe, God, whatever it is that you believe, and I am going to, you know, use that energy in the best possible way to learn everything that I need to learn for myself to level up, right? It's like the star is the card of Aquarius, right? And we've got this little star down here, in addition to the one that sits in the lamp for the thing. It's just there, right? Your vision is so close now, right? What is usually a big star up in the sky is actually is down near your feet. It is within your grasp, not for the other signs, right? For you. And it's going to be for you to pick that star up and put it where it is for other people to follow, right? The vision thing. You need to trust in yourself to do that. There's a real sense of empowerment here coming towards you. You know, It's total ownership of everything that you are and everything that you stand for and the way in which you are different to everyone else, right? This doesn't concern you anymore. And there have been times where it does. And it's not that you don't give a shit, because I think Aquarians get a bad rap for that sometimes. It's not about that. It's about your particular skill set being so far away that other people can't see it, right? Sometimes what's next to your feet you can't see very well. Maybe arguably at points you've lost sight of your own vision because it was so close, right? Because it's so nearly there. But I feel like this time of reflection that you're spending, this clearing out of old energy or welcoming the new energy, it's been a really important lesson for you. And how you move forward from this point will dictate. Will it dictate? I was going to say it has a knock-on effect for the people around you. It has a knock-on effect for the signs, the other signs that aren't Aquarius. It's like a stepping up into your role, finally, is how it feels. With the Wheel of Fortune energy here behind you, going, yes, 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 this wheel is turning, it's doing its thing. You've learned all the things that you need to do. You've let go of the things that you need to let go of. Tell me more about this choice. Do you know what? There's an acceptance here of, well, let's see here. Like, these are the three cards that have come out to clarify the Lovers. We've got the Nine of Pentacles, which was yours at the bottom of the deck there, right? The Shadow card. Then we've got the Six of Swords, this moving away, which is the Shadow card here at the bottom of that. And we've got the King of Cups. Now, I think it's moving away from seeing yourself as an island a little bit, actually. Maybe this has been the teaching moment, or this will be the teaching moment for you, because actually we are all connected. Now, you've got a particular skill set and you're able to do these things, but it seems like there's an acknowledgement of the value of the emotional connections that are around you, right? Those who support you in order to do what you do, and then you in turn support them by providing the vision, right? It's an end to feeling isolated, right? This whole feeling an island, right? Because you don't experience emotions down here, you experience them up there, right? And that can leave the people around you sometimes feeling a little bit like you don't care. And it's not that you don't care, it's just that your care isn't down here. It's for everyone. It's finding a new way of expressing it that makes everybody feel valued, I think. What about this Wheel of Fortune? Yeah, beautiful. So the card that flipped that's sticking out the top of the deck there is the Five of Pentacles. There are people who felt a little bit abandoned around you, but there are also, like, you have also felt in some way isolated from everything. But the truth of the matter is that you're just as connected as everybody else, right? You just look at things from a different way. Like, this teaching moment for you has really caused you to step into your power in a really, really strong way, right? And the stars back up in the sky there now, right? It's really, really close, but you're putting it up for everybody else to learn from. There have been times where you've wobbled this year, Aquarius, and it was because your vision was, you got stuck in a box, You've got to be more expansive than that, but not at the cost of feeling connected, which is maybe how you've done it so far, hitherto. Let's get you some advice. Some advice for Aquarius, please. For the last 2 weeks. Okay. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. We've got the Ten of Swords, we've got the Tower, and we've got the King of Wands. And I really like the fact that the King of Wands is there for you, right? Because the King of Wands is warm where you are not. naturally. The King of Wands is entirely present where you are not naturally, right? Maybe this is the value of those emotional connections, that support network around you, because occasionally it pulls you back to feel like you are part of something connected. Yeah? Tell me about the Ten of Swords. Yeah, like Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Right. It's an end of a cycle, right? It's an end to you feeling completely cast adrift from emotions and emotional things. Like you're discovering a new level of connectivity for yourself. We've got the King and the Queen, right? Everything is balancing out now. You don't need to feel cast out in the dark, and you don't need to feel you will less so make other people feel like their emotional states are kind of slightly less important than the intellectual brilliance that you demonstrate at all times, right? It's funny, Capricorns had this kind of revelatory discovering the value of emotions as well, and connections. And so are you. And we've got the Tower, right? The Tower is a course correction of some description, right? It's pulling down old paradigms, old ways of doing things, right? And allowing to rebuild the new. Now, in order to rebuild, somebody's got to have a plan, right? And that's you, right? You are the Tower, Aquarius. Right? But you've had to have your own minor Tower moment in order to make it happen, yeah? Which is right and proper. Wow, that's amazing. So, conscious co-creation, your own personal growth off the back of it, right? That was your Tower moment right there. But you're going to bring the Tower for other people, because you shake down these old paradigms, the old ways of doing things, be very inventive, very creative, very visionary about what comes next. And then you can help other people rebuild something that is a little less unstable than this, and a little bit more like the vision that you have, right? You have grown incredibly off the back of it. And then there's this King of Wands, right? That warm, dynamic energy that has sometimes been lost in your field because you have been so out there. You know, it's finding a balance is what it is. Because at times where you felt stuck, it's because you were down here. And when you tried to connect with people, it made you feel stuck. It's almost like all of this work that you're doing, it's allowing you to hold these two seemingly contradictory states comfortably, right? You've got the vision, but you've also got the connection. This is really, really powerful stuff, Aquarius, and it's exactly what we need going forwards, you know, particularly into 2021. Saturn, losing my voice. Saturn is going back into Aquarius in December, and it's going to stay there for 2.5 years. I think it's retrograding back into Capricorn now, just as normality is starting to kind of hit, certainly where the virus and stuff like that is concerned, right? But we go back into Aquarius in December, and from that point on, everything is going to be changed and everything is going to be different, and you need to be in the right place in order to help construct, design, be the architects of the new world, in fact, because it's not you doing the building, that will be the other signs, it's you drawing the blueprints for it, and that's really, really important. But all the work starts with you first, and you're on with it. It's great, it's really powerful, I love it. Right, I love you very much, Aquarius. Take care, and I'll see you soon.